Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. We'll go ahead and get started today. I think we'll do some of the warrior series. So we'll be doing some standing poses and some strength and balance work as we work through some of the warrior series and alternatives on the warrior. And then we'll go to the mat and we'll be on our stomachs working on our core and upper and lower body strength. So we should be able to get a pretty good workout in today. Let's start our warm up. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to start down on the mat today. So let's come down to the mat, lying in our corpse pose in Shavasana. And we'll get centered here for just a moment. Start warming up the spine. We can lie here with our feet, kind of just gently draping to the side. Our hands away from our torso far enough that we have space between our body and our arms. And imagining that our body is just sinking heavy into the mat. Making a note of areas of tension that you're holding in your body or in your mind. And for this practice today, just let those distractions, worries, concerns fade away and allow yourself to be present in the practice today. Starting to notice the breath coming into your lungs and filling your lungs, expanding your chest cavity. And then slowly releasing that breath. Breathing in the cool, fresh air, fresh oxygen into your body. And exhaling softness and relaxation and calm. Pay attention to how energy feels in your body at this moment. Is it stuck? Still waiting to be awake? Can you mentally waken it? Bring it to life in your body? Let's pay attention to the breath in the chest cavity and in the lungs. See if on the inhale we can expand that chest cavity, creating space between our ribs and our vertebrae. Space between the organs that fill our chest cavity. And on the exhale, let that force hug all of those organs in your body, your bones. Inhale to expand. And exhale to contract. Now just take a minute to bring your knees into your chest slowly. Gently push them in. Seeing if you can open up and release into your low back. You can bring them from side to side. Starting to bring some awareness into your body of the movement. And then gently release those legs back to the end of the mat. Your feet resting on the heel. And bring your right foot over the left, your arms out from the chest. Gently press your right hip to the left side, keeping the right shoulder into the mat and gazing over that right hand. And release it. And we'll go through these initial spinal opening exercises real quickly today. So twist again to the left, gazing over the right. Release it. Reverse, left ankle crosses over right. Twisting to the right, gazing to the left, pressing that left shoulder into the mat. And again, the twisting is coming in the middle to upper spine. Okay, twist again to the right. And release. Right heel on top of left toes, twisting towards the left, gazing towards the right. Feel some of that releasing in that hip joint. Release it. One more time. Okay, feet back to the mat, left foot on top of right, twisting to the right, gazing over the left. Twisting. And release. And twisting. And release. Okay, right foot comes to the inside of your left knee, Velcro it, attach it to the inside of that left knee, and twist your hips to the left, keeping the left toes pointed, gazing over the right hands, pressing that right shoulder into the mat. And release. One more time, twist to the left, gaze to the right, left toes pointed, right shoulder into the mat, and release. Reverse it. This time the left foot comes to the inside of the right knee. We'll twist to the right, gaze to the left. Twist. And on this twist, try and coordinate it with your exhale so that you're really able to twist into that and squeeze towards your twist. And you can imagine yourself giving all of your internal organs a hug on these. Okay, release it. One more time, twist. Okay, release it. Both feet back to the end of the mat. This time the right foot comes over the left knee and we'll twist to the left. Twist left. Left toes pointed, gazing over the right fingers. And release. And we'll twist it one more time. Twist to the left, gaze to the right, press that right shoulder into the mat. Really try and get that twisting in the middle of the back. And release. Extend your legs to the end. This time the left foot comes over the right knee. Inhale and twist to the left. Exhaling as we're twisting, squeezing, closing in on that core. Really wringing out all of those organs. One more time, twist to the left or to the right. And release. Both feet to the end of the mat. This time the right leg goes straight up and we'll cross it over. So let's flex that heel, pull that left or the right kneecap into the right thigh, and then twist to the left, gaze to the right, left toes are pointed. And you might have a little bit of a bend in that knee. The goal would be to try and get it straight and to keep that right shoulder to the mat, really pulling into the side of the hip and the full side of the glute. Okay, release it. One more time. Twist to the left. Remember, exhaling as we're twisting. And if you're able, you can reach down and grab that foot, pull it up a little bit farther. Or try with your breath to ease your body into relaxation and softness and comfort in this pose. And for a lot of people, this is a real uncomfortable position to be in. Okay, let's release it. And we'll lower our foot slowly to the mat, but this time we'll do it faster than we did in yesterday's class. So it might take us maybe 10 seconds to get down. Engaging that core, pulling that belly button into the spine, lifting the pelvic floor. Okay, this time our left leg goes up, flexing that left heel, pulling the left knee to the thigh, and twisting to the right, gazing to the left, right toes are pointed. Pressing that left shoulder into the mat, feeling that twist in the mid to upper spine. Release it. Okay, we'll take it over one more time. Remember, we're gazing over those left fingertips. You can reach down and grab that. You're welcome to do. Grab your toes. Okay, release it. Flexing the left heel, lowering it, taking about 10 seconds to get it to the floor, engaging that core really, really strong. Pull that belly button right into the spine, lifting our pelvic floor up, trying to meet the tailbone with our pelvic floor. Okay, release it. This time both legs come up, and we'll take both legs to the left. We'll just pause right here for a moment, trying to keep those legs straight, the heels flexed, gazing over that right hand, and then bringing them back up, taking about 10 seconds to lower. And again, we're going to really pull that belly button in and see how tight we can get our core as we're lowering our legs. Really pull it in, tighten it, hug all of your core muscles right around your spine. Pull your pelvic floor up and in, breathing as you're lowering. Okay, we'll take 2 breaths to pause before we bring our legs back up again. 2 deep breaths here. Okay, inhale, bring the legs up. Exhale, inhale, and both legs come over to the right hand. You might feel some adjusting in your spine going on here. Pushing that left shoulder into the mat. Let's release it. One more time to the right fingers. And I can't remember if we did this 2 times on the other side, but we'll do 2 times on this side, and I'll try and be more aware next time. Okay, bring your legs back up, flexing the heels, pulling your kneecaps in, lowering those legs. If you'd like to, you can pull your hands to the side of your hips. Really exaggerate the strength in your core as you're lowering. Take it a little bit slower this time. Okay, when your legs are to the mat, let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths here. And then we'll do a few recovery moves in cat-cow to table pose. So come to all fours, knees directly below the hips, wrists under the elbows, under the shoulders. And then let's just pull up, exhaling, squeezing in, inhaling as we open up, raise that chin. Exhale to squeeze in and close on cat. Inhale, opening up on cow, keeping that movement between the shoulders and in the upper back. Then we'll do one more here. And come down into your extended baby with your arms out in front of you, really stretching that low spine, the hips, the arms, and then returning back to table. And we'll do some bird dog poses. So our right arm is going to go out and our left leg will come out. So let's extend it straight out. And again, check into your core, pull that belly button in. Keeping that left arm engaged, you should feel strengthening on the back of the upper left arm. One more deep breath here and release it. Left arm, right leg. Really squeezing the glutes, pulling that belly button in, engaging the entire pelvic floor. Okay, release. This time we're going to reach up with our right arm, up with our left leg. Inhale, reaching up. Really trying to push that knee up as high as we can get it and pushing that elbow up as high as we can get it. Breathing into this. It's a good time to close your eyes. Really work on some balance. Pushing them up. Squeezing your abdominals. Squeezing your glutes. One more breath here. And then release it. Same thing, opposite side. Left arm goes up, right arm goes up. Really pushing that knee up. Pushing the elbow up. Closing the eyes to work on balance. One more deep breath here. Okay, release. This time our arm and our leg will come out to the side. I'm going to keep my leg bent as I go out. So right arm comes out to the side, left leg comes out to the side, and we're going to hold the strength here. Again, pull that core in. Really lift that knee up. Breathing softly into this. One more breath. And release. Okay, left arm goes out, right leg goes out. Really pulling that knee up, pulling the arm up, closing the eyes to work on balance, strengthening the back of that upper right arm and shoulder. One more breath. Release it. Back to baby pose. Okay, we'll come to standing. To the front of our mat, and we'll work on our warrior one. Remember, our feet are in railroad tracks. Oh, Judy's trying to get in. I hope everybody can hear me because I'm not hearing myself like I usually do. We will step back with our right leg in our warrior pose.
Thursdays at 9
The
and
right
Fridays
leg
at 8
comes
on
back.
K1.
Our feet are both facing the wall in front of us. Our feet are on railroad tracks.
And if approved, we can have the
Finding
money
that
as soon as
stability, keeping
business
the
day.
knee behind the toes.
USA.com to apply for the money you
And then
need.
see if you can work towards more of a neutral spine. So pushing that pelvis a little bit more forward. And sometimes that pelvis will want to rotate out. And be very mindful of your back when you're in this warrior series. So if you feel more comfortable with it tilting out a little, you're welcome to do that. Okay, add the arms this time. Now check our balance. The balls of both feet, the heels of both feet. Squeezing our glutes in, pulling our core in. And then let's bring our arms and our knee to meeting. And then come back to that warrior one. We're going to keep this on repeat for a minute here. Okay, find your strength on warrior one, bringing that knee in and releasing it. Bring the knee in and release it. Bringing the knee in and release it. This is our fifth one, and we'll do 10. Bring the knee in and release it. Bring the knee in, release it. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, release it, and we'll bring the other leg back. Okay, this time our left foot comes back. Okay, find that neutral spine, stepping back with the left foot. The left heel balances, the right heel balances, finding your strength, finding that space between your feet that is comfortable for you, and then adding the arms. Let's just stay here for a moment in this strength. Feel the difference in the energy now in your body. Okay, let's bring it in. The knee comes to the chest, arms to the chest, and release it. Finding that strength again. Really squeezing your abdominals and bring it in and release it. Okay, let's bring it in and release it. This is our fourth one. Bring it in and release it. 5 more, or 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, shake it out. This time we'll go from warrior 1 to warrior 3. So what that looks like is warrior 1, and then we'll bring it in, and then we'll push it straight out to our warrior 3, okay? So come to the front of your mat, stepping back with the right foot, step back with the right foot, find your warrior 1, bring it in, and then push it straight out. And then let's stay in this balance for a moment, really trying to get our arms and legs parallel to the floor. One more breath here. Okay, release it. Same thing, stepping back with the left. Step back with the left to warrior 1. And our arms come up, find your strength here. Squeeze it in. Push it forward. Really lowering that torso, extending that back leg. Holding strength and balance. One more breath here. Okay, release it. Shake it out. We'll repeat again, right and left. Okay, warrior 1, stepping back with your right leg. Find your strength. Squeeze it in. Push it up. And this time, adjust your arms. You might want to bring them out to the sides. You can bring them to the back. About ready to fall over. Release it. Okay. Same thing, we'll step back with the left foot this time. Stepping back with your left foot. Find your strength in warrior 1. Okay, exhaling to squeeze in, inhaling to push out. And again, you can adjust your arms. And if you dare, you can try closing your eyes for a moment. Just so you know, I'm not going to dare do that. Okay, release it and shake it out. While we're warmed up here, let's do some side-to-side movement with our spine. And so we're not forgetting some of these movements. We're doing a lot of this forward and back stuff. So arms coming up, linking our hands together. Let's open up this right side. Really pushing that right hip out, keeping our arms on the same plane as our legs and our body. Don't let it come forward or behind. Release it and push it up. Okay, move it over to the side again. Really getting to some side-to-side movement in the spine. Pushing it up. This time our elbow comes over. Be mindful of your core. Release it. Opposite elbow comes over. Release it. And then let's work on our Warrior 2 series. So in our Warrior 2 series, our right foot comes, or our left foot will come facing the wall in front of us, and our right foot steps back at a 45-degree angle. And let's just feel this right here for a minute and see where our weight adjusts to. You should be able to have all surfaces of that back foot in contact with the mat, and that right foot balanced between the heel and the toes. And depending on your knees and your knee health, you might want to adjust that front leg so that you're not putting extra pressure on that knee. And while we're in this pose, we're going to open up our hips and our chest to the long side of the mat. And see if we can just push those walls out farther apart. Finding a parallel plane between the floor and our arms. And then gazing over that backhand, right over those middle fingers on the backhand. Okay, let's reverse this Warrior 3. So we'll pendulum our arms to the back, and then we can turn that hand palm facing us, and then reach it up. Really stretching back as far down that back leg as we can. Okay, we'll straighten that leg in front of us, and then we'll pendulum forward and come to the inside of our left knee with our left arm, opening up to the side to a reverse angle. You might want to try some balance work by gazing up over those fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Okay, reverse it. Coming back to our Warrior 3. Okay, we'll face the back wall this time. So our feet are going to be opposite. And we'll find our Warrior 3 on the other side. Really find the strength here. See if you can squeeze those glutes in tighter, opening up your pelvis to the long side of the mat. Really find that strength. Okay, reverse Warrior 2. With that arm coming down that back leg. We can gaze up over those fingertips. And again, check the balance of your feet. This front leg should be getting a real good workout about right now. Okay, we'll reverse it again and windmill forward so that right leg comes straight. And we're windmilling forward, reaching over, really opening up that chest to the long side of the mat. And if you're ready, you can gaze over those fingertips. So the leg in front of us is more straight. Okay, release it. Coming back to our warrior 3, or warrior 3, warrior 2. And then facing the long side of the mat, we'll do a forward fold here, keeping that spine flat, lifting our sit bones to the ceiling. And you can drop down to the floor to your comfort area. I'm going to protect my spine a little bit for the next few weeks. See if I can just really get some good strength building here, lifting my sit bones up while I'm holding the strength with my legs. Okay, release it and return up. Reaching up, and we'll come down into our goddess pose. And we'll hold this goddess pose. And this pose is, I love the name of this because it just feels like such a strong, strong female pose. I love it. So while you're in this goddess, squeeze those glutes together, opening up the area of the pelvis, squeezing between your shoulder blades. Your belly button comes into your spine. And again, we're just holding strength, power, balance, all of the good things in this pose. Okay, release it and press it back up. And come back down into that goddess pose. We'll hold it one more time here. It's a good time to close your eyes and see how different the work feels with your eyes closed. Your body is having to do all of the balance work. One more breath here. Release it, press it up. And then come back to a forward fold. So maybe bring your toes a little bit farther forward. Really lifting those sitting bones up, out, and towards the ceiling. And let's open up into our hips, and we'll lean to the right. And sit here for a minute and get our breath. See if on each exhale we can lower our pelvic floor, lower our hips, our sit bones closer to the mat. Okay, release it. Coming to the other side. Really opening to the inside of that hip. Letting yourself relax on each exhale. You start to get some of your breath back. Okay, release it. And let's come to our squat pose. So you can stay on the long side of your mat. Let's just come down into this squat. And we'll work a little bit on crow pose and then go to our stomachs. So you're welcome to stay here. If you choose to stay here, you can grab opposite elbow with each hand and let yourself fall right into that space between your knees, tucking your chin into your chest. And if your knees are needing a break, you can stand, so you bring it up and bring it down. So those are some options for you if crow is not in your wheelhouse today. Otherwise, let's get the shins to the back sides of our upper arms. Really come down into that and settle. And then widen our hands and find some good balance with our hands on the mat. And we'll start moving the weight of our body from our heels to the balls of our feet, to the backs of our arms, to our palms, And then we can lift up into the crow. And release. And come back down into that squat. And again, you might want to lift and lower, give your knees a little bit of movement. We'll do crow one more time here. Okay, put the shin to the back of our upper arm. Weight is on our heel. Let's start to transfer that weight to the balls of our feet. Shin leaning on the backs of our upper arms. The weight comes to our palms. And release. Okay, let's stand, squat, stand, and squat. And then happily come to our stomach, and we're just going to relax. I've got this mat coming undone from my floor. You can just come here with your elbows in front, place your chin into your palms, and then let your spine settle a little bit. Let your heels fall out from one another. Becoming completely relaxed in this pose. We'll just take a few more breaths for a moment. Okay, let's release it to the floor. Our arms are going to come overhead. We'll place our forehead to the mat. Our heels are together, the laces side of our feet pressed into the mat. And on the inhale, we'll raise our arms and our head and our chest. Ready, inhale, lift up. Keeping the laces side down, heels together, really lifting up the chest, reaching those arms out, stretching them towards the wall in front of you. And release. Let's take our left cheek to the mat. Let our heels come out and relax. One more breath. Reach out in front of us. Inhale, lift. Now in this pose, it's easy to imagine all of those core muscles wrapping around every single bore or bone in your chest cavity and in your torso. Just squeezing them, using all of that strength to lift, really open up that chest. And release. This time, right cheek to the mat. Okay, arms reach out, forehead to the mat, heels together. Inhale, lift. See if you can get some softness in your face while you're lifting. Release, come back to the mat, right cheek to the floor, and we'll do one more. Okay, arms come out, forehead to the floor, heels together. Inhale, lift. This time, really see if you can just pull that chest open and up higher. One more good breath here. lifting it higher and release it slowly. Right cheek to the mat. Okay, we'll work on our lower half of our body. We'll start with our feet together, forehead to the mat. Let's try putting our hands down kind of in front of our elbows. And we'll inhale to lift. And our legs are separating, really squeezing those glutes in to lift the knees as high as you can get the knees. And your legs will naturally come apart in this pose. Again, working on a soft breath. And release slowly, slowly, slowly. Right cheek to the mat. Okay, our feet back together, heels together, forehead to the mat. Inhale, lift. Really pushing those knees up to the ceiling. Getting some real height in them, really squeezing those glutes. Working on all of those small muscles that support our spine. And release it slowly. Left cheek to the mat. Take a few breaths here. Okay, forehead comes back to the mat. Heels are together. Inhale, lift. Keeping that forehead down. Really pushing the knees and the feet up towards the ceiling. Squeezing our glutes. Remembering our breath. Release. Okay, we've got one more of these. Okay, bring your forehead to the mat. Feet and heels together. Inhale, lift. Really squeeze the glutes, lift those knees. See if you can get as much height as possible this time. Okay, lift it a little bit higher, 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 and then release it slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, it might feel really good to just lay here and let your body melt into the ground, or you can come back to an extended baby pose. Put some stretch back into the low spine. Okay, coming back forward. Want to work on our cobra and our up dog. Fingertips come right below our shoulders, and our elbows are tucked right in to our sides. Our toes, the balls of our feet are together, the heels of our feet are together. And let's just lift with our chest. So our hands are gently resting to the side, just gently on the mat. Heels are squeezing together, and we're lifting our chest, opening it up, squeezing those shoulder blades together, lifting our chin, breathing, and release it slowly, come back down. Okay, let's bring that forehead back to the mat. This time we'll lift our face, our chest, and then we'll engage our arms. So lifting the face, rolling up to lift the chest, keeping those elbows tucked in. Weight now starts to transfer to the palms of our hands, squeezing our heels together, lifting up while we're keeping our elbows bent, tucked into our side. Our heels have fallen apart, and our chin is up, holding the strength Eyes are closed. Lowering it very, very slowly. Taking a few breaths here to bring some softness and relaxation back to the body. And we'll come up into Cobra again. Okay, our heels and our toes are together. Our elbows are tucked in as close to our side as we can get them, starting by lifting our forehead off the mat. Our face comes forward. Our chest rolls off the mat using only the strength of our chest to lift up our back. And now we start transferring weight to our palms, squeezing those elbows in, lifting, strengthening the arms, keeping those elbows bent. Our heels have probably fallen apart. Chin is up, keeping those arms bent. And if you need a break in this pose, you can come up to a straight arm and rest a little bit. Take 2 more breaths here. And then release it slowly, slowly to the mat. Okay, this time we'll come all the way to up dog, so our arms will straighten. Let's pause for a moment to get our breath. I'm going to shake out your arms a little bit. Getting some good strengthening today. Okay, our heels and our toes are together. Fingertips are underneath our shoulders. Lifting up with the face, the chest. Transferring weight to our palms. Elbows are tucked in. Lifting to a straight arm in our up dog and holding the strength here. Lifting the chin. Okay, let's release it slowly to the mat. And we'll do 1 more of those. So again, if you're ready to just take a round out and let your muscles relax for a moment, feel free to do that. Just listen to your body. You can also just stay in crocodile pose for a moment if you'd like to. Okay, fingertips come below the elbows or the shoulders. Our forehead to the mat. Our heels and our balls of our feet are together. We'll begin by lifting the forehead and the face, opening up the chest. We're squeezing our shoulder blades together at this point, transferring the weight to our palms. Elbows are tucked in, toes are together, lifting to a straight arm and holding this straight arm pose. One more breath here, lift a little higher, and then slowly with the elbows tucked in, come down. Slowly, slowly, slowly holding that strength as long as you can. Okay, let's bring our arms to our sides. Let our heels fall apart. And really relax into this next minute. Using the breath to slow the heart rate down. Trying to lengthen our inhale and our exhale. Okay, let's come up, and it might be interesting for you to do a few cat-cows now if your body's wanting to do that. but otherwise we can meet together in a cross-leg position, back on the mat. And we'll work on our neck and our arms for just a moment. See if we can stretch them out. I'm feeling really quite fatigued, and it's excruciating joy is what I like to call it. So again, checking into our posture, make sure those sitting bones are even to the floor. If you need to, you can move some of that skin and the flesh aside so that you're really rooting into those seating bones. And notice what happens to your posture as you engage the sitting bones for your seating instead of back towards your tailbone. It just forces you to have to sit taller with your chest up, open a little bit more. Okay, with our spine extended, we'll start bringing some rotation into our neck. So let's bring our chin up to 12 o'clock and let's do a full clockwise rotation. And you've all done this with us, so I'll let you do this at your own pace, remembering to really exaggerate the movement and find those places that your neck feels stressed or tight or kinked, and allow yourself to pause in that space and breathe some softness into that area. Having these headphones in my ear helps me to hear what's going on in my head and my body a little bit better, and I hear so much creaking and cracking, adjusting. You can work on a counterclockwise, again, leading with the chin, really exaggerating that stretch. Okay, face comes straight forward. Now imagine that there's a plane right underneath your chin and you want to slide your chin out and then tuck it back. And this movement of tucking your chin back this way, I can't talk when I'm doing it very well. I don't know if you can see that. That is the opposite of what everybody is doing with their cell phone. And this is one of the physical therapy things that the doctor has my daughter working on, is just sliding that out and tucking it back. We're not getting enough movement with our neck to the back. Sliding it out, tucking it back. Okay, let's look over our right shoulder. Really pushing our face back behind our right shoulder and left. And I'd really like to know, so if you guys get a minute to just send me a message and tell me if you've noticed a difference with your neck and how your neck feels and the flexibility since we've been working on some of these neck things. It's astonishing to me how much different my neck feels. And I didn't even realize, because I've been doing yoga for a while, how tight my neck has become. This is really helping it. Okay, let's take that chin right into our chest. See if we can pull space between our shoulders and our ears while we're tucking that chin in. Breathing softly into it. Okay, let's work a little bit on our shoulder blades. So pressing our arms out. And again, you want to keep a straight line from your shoulder to your wrist. And then see if you can press it back, squeezing those shoulder blades together as if you're holding a pencil or a straw in between those shoulder blades. And then release it. Interlace the fingers together and reverse it by dipping the chin, pressing the palms to the wall in front of you. So a complete reversal of the first posture we had. Okay, let's bring it back to our palms, pressing those walls out, separating them, and then starting to bring them back as we squeeze those shoulder blades together, really work on those muscles from the bottom of the shoulder blade to the top of the shoulder blade. and then reverse it by interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms to the wall in front of us, tucking that chin in. Okay, this is the lotion move. That's the only thing I can think to call it. I probably ought to look it up. So we're reaching with our right arm. So our right elbow is coming to the top, like to the ceiling, and we're pressing down on our back as far down as we can get it. And this may look like this to you. So every little bit helps, and the more we work on this, the better it will get. And then bringing that left arm from behind, trying to reach those right fingertips with our left fingertips and trying to press them together. And again, my joints are hypermobile, so this works a little bit more easily for me than most. And let's reverse it. Left elbow comes up, our left palm slides down the back of our neck. And you can even use your fingers to get some resistance to push that back a little bit far, down a little bit farther. And then the back of our hand comes up, trying to reach those fingertips. Okay, let's release it. Shake it out. And I would like to just today, instead of doing a meditation, just do our yoga mudra. And I'd like to hold it for 5 minutes. So find whatever works best for you. You can have your left leg in front, your right leg in front, whatever works for you. We're going to hold this for 5 minutes. And then we'll do a little bit of breathing in the end, and then our class will be over. So I'll face this way so I can see you. Okay, getting our posture straight for this, sitting bones rooted into the mat. Our chest is open and expanded. Our shoulders are back. Reaching around behind us with our right hand, grasping the left wrist. And then keep that grip soft. We don't want to start getting tension. And I'll try maybe for the first minute of this to remind you of what we're doing with our breathing and where our body is. And then I'll let you for the next 4 minutes after that, just feel what your body's feeling and go back to what you know about releasing the tension. And we'll go from there. Okay. Inhale, hinging from the hip with a flat spine coming forward. Trying to drop that chest right over our legs. And when you feel supported in this, then you can start dropping your head, really just allowing yourself to soften and to literally melt into this pose. You'll notice that while you hold this pose that you start to get some tension and tightness in your hips, and be mindful of that. And with the breath, just allow it to relax. And you may have to go back to that a dozen times to keep it softening. Working towards each exhale, bringing yourself more fully and completely into the pose. And paying attention to the thoughts that come for just a moment, noting them and releasing them. And notice the work that you can do with your breathing and how that can help to clear your mind and to clear your thoughts and worries that may come up in this time where you have nothing to really think about. And you can look at this time as a gift that you have to just do some real quiet introspective work. Okay, we have just a couple more breaths here, starting to bring a little bit more awareness back into the body. And when you're ready, on an inhale, opening up the chest, lifting your torso up, returning your wrists to your knees, and letting the blood flow recirculate for a moment. Maybe take a moment to consider an intention for your day. Okay, we can bring our hands back to heart center. And I wish to offer gratitude for joining me today. And the word that keeps coming to mind today throughout this practice for me is flexibility. And I wish for you flexibility today, flexibility in your schedule, in your thinking, in your behaviors, and in your way of being in the world. Thank you. Namaste. We'll see you on Saturday. And I did put a post this morning that I'm considering doing just a handful of beginner classes. I've got some people that want to start doing classes, but they feel intimidated starting after we've been going for so long. So if you've got friends or people you know that are wanting to start yoga and feeling intimidated, it will be a real basic, bare bones, down to the nuts and bolts of the first few poses that we do to get people comfortable with the idea of starting a yoga class. So just pass along the word. I'm happy to have whoever join. I just love being able to offer this. So Thank you. Namaste. Have a great day.